Hello, I'm Chris Sissons from Market Together, and today I'm welcoming Olga Geidane of New Life Kickstart, who is going to tell her story at Telling Stories on the 28th of February. And Olga has agreed to have a brief conversation to whet your appetite for her story. And remember, the purpose of these lunch and learns is that when you come along, listen to a story, and then have an opportunity to respond to it at length, you're not only helping Olga to tell her story, because there's always room for improvement in storytelling, but you're also helping yourself. And that's really the purpose of these lunch and learns. And one really important aspect of it is that we're telling stories to promote our businesses. So the first thing is to ask Olga, could you tell us a bit about your business, just so people have a sense of who you are and what you do?
Yes, thank you, Chris. As you said, I'm a founder of New Life Kickstart. It is about helping people to unleash themselves. In few, doing life coaching and business mentoring or coaching as well. So what I do day to day, I help people with their day-to-day issues, which are coming most likely from very far, very childhood, from school, or maybe from previous relationships. It's about confidence, passion, anxiety, addictions very often as well. And in general life and everything would happen to you, your experience, which sometimes was not the great experience, affects you on a daily basis. And of course, if you are a business owner, it affects massively. And even if you think it doesn't, think to yourself, why some don't make that phone call? Why sometimes you don't chase for money? Why sometimes you don't go and market yourself really out and loud? Is something wrong with the confidence? So in general, working with many issues of human beings, and as a part of my speaking career with my and business mentoring, is prolonging that, is talking to the bigger, rather one-to-one, what I do on a daily basis, or one to a couple if I work with relationships. So it's life coaching, business mentoring, and speaking engagements too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, I heard you tell your story once, and I was very impressed. It was a highly polished account. So how do you use stories to promote your business?
Well, without people don't connect with you, isn't it? And through the story, you tell them how are you. So if I go, let's say, to the audience, and they're majority of business owners, of course, I'll start my business aspect of my life. It will be more about my business experience, mistakes, what I have done, and also how I helped other people. It's showing them that I can hold you, take you through your troubles. And the same with personal life. If I speak with a couple, or if I do the personal development event, I will, of course, more concentrate on these type of subjects. Again, confidence could be overcoming challenges. It could be setting up bigger goals and achieving them. Always bring up my own examples. For example, when I came to UK, I did not speak any. So if we speak about can you achieve anything if you don't have a skill, answer is always. And here I will bring that example and I will say how I improved that. And I think without story, nothing happens. If you look at any advertisement on the television, there's always a story thing. So our own stories is extremely powerful tool, how we actually can connect with it and show them, look, I can hold your hand and take you through the journey. So we really help them, and I do all the time.
Yes, without stories, nothing happens, and that really speaks to me. And certainly, telling stories can be immensely powerful and really change people's lives. So, why do you think that people do respond so positively to your stories?
That's because of feelings. What story does taps into the heart, into the feelings, and then you think to yourself, oh yeah, I can relate to that. You feel to that person, the speaker or somebody who is doing a workshop, you really relate and you trust them. And when you trust them, this when you open up. And this when you're ready to give, this when you're ready to pay for services, this when you're ready to buy something from someone relatable to you. So what story does, it actually opens up the heart of the person who is listening to the story. And I do it all the time. And I'm not trying to make people, cry for me. It's not that. It's actually about inspiring people. It's actually telling them, look, what you have right now, it's something what I had, but look at me now, I overcome it. So it as well. So it's, yes, tapping into emotion, yes, making people feel, but not making feel them sorry for you, but actually inspire them to do things to improve as well.
Yes, yes. It's as I say, I've heard you once, and certainly you're. What I mean, it's a few months ago now, so the details are a bit hazy. But certainly, one of the things I remember was that you told us your life story and how you came to this country and set up your business, and it seemed to me that your story was actually made up of a number of quite discrete, smaller stories. I mean, do you? When you are preparing, do you think of your life as a number of different stories that you can sort of move about and use separately, or do you see it more as like chapters in a book, and really you're trying to tell the whole story? Which is it for you?
It's interesting and challenging because if you have very little time, I always think, what is there for my audience? Because I can talk for hours about my life. Like, there's so many things to talk about, isn't it, in everybody's life? But not everything is relevant. Not everything will be inspiring. Not everything will move them. And therefore, if you have that time, what I always do, I prepare for longer because I know every sentence. The time when you heard me, I had that speaking slot for 45 minutes. So I can give more details about each little chapter, as you said, because each little made me who I am. And if I would have, let's say, only 5 minutes, there'll be a different story. There'll be little facts, but all linked together. And again, if it is more business experience, will be more about business, about my work experience. And if it is just more, let's say, relation and personal development audience, like private people, normal people, day-to-day people, I'll be talking more about personal challenges and my own winning points of my life and those points when I was broken. So it really depends. But I look at my life as, what is my audience? Which part of this particular chapter will be most useful?
Mm-hmm.
So when I speak about my dad's death, I know that I can talk about emotions for a long time. It's not emotional what's important. It was the lesson I learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had people. And if I use that story, again, depends how and what details I reveal. I had to me and thanking me after events, saying, thank you so much. You really made me vibe now. And I cannot be any more thankful to the lesson from my dad.
And I certainly feel it's really important for business owners to build a portfolio of stories so that they can actually use them flexibly. I mean, very often you hear at business network events, someone will tell their life story, and it's just one thing after another. You do need to work on stories and develop them and work out how to tell them so that they have the impact that you're looking for. So one last question. Well, why would you invite people to come along to your storytelling on the 28th? What do you think they'll get out of it?
Why would I invite people to listen to my story? I must say here is not that much about my story itself. It's about relating yourself to what happened to me, learning from my mistakes, and learning from what I achieved and what you can do too. Importantly, it's learning how you can use your own story and what not your story, because I'm sure we'll discuss it as well, in order to pass on the main message to your audience, whether it is a large business audience or small, it doesn't really matter. You have an audience. And very often people use too many details which are not relevant. It's about what not to use and what to use so you can sell yourself. But not in the meaning of selling, which is very harsh and pushy and I'll make it for me, in a way which is engaging, in a way which is interesting to listen to. When you're looking for the next chapter, next journey, and this is how you connect with people. So it's to learn from my mistakes or example of my story. How can you use your story, business and brand? Because it can be very powerful.
We all need to be working on certainly the use of detail. I think very often stories lack detail. It's getting the right balance, and particularly if you're telling a story about your own growth and emotion, it's very tempting to leave aside the detail. But a well-placed telling detail is extremely telling. So do feel. I do hope this has whetted your appetite, and that people listening to this will register and come along. If you want to register, hunt around this video, and somewhere there will be a link. I promise you that. And click on that link, and it'll take you to the site. It really helps us. It helps if you do register, particularly this time, because I'm not quite sure where it's going to be. We're usually at the Rood Shipyard on Abbeydale Road. It'll almost certainly be there, but there is a possibility that it will be closed for reasons I'm not going to go into, in which case there'll be a change of venue. So please do register, because then I know and I can inform you if there has been a change of venue, and it will be somewhere central in Sheffield. I know what the alternative venue will be, but I'm not telling anybody because it'll cause confusion. So assume it's the Rood Shipyard unless you're here. It's at 12:15 on Thursday, the 28th of February. There's a £5 fee, and we ask you to buy your lunch from the cafe. It's an informal environment where we can relax and listen. It's not like sitting in a room in a hotel, and it's not that sort of formal thing. It's much more informal, and it's a great opportunity, as I say, not just to work on Olga's story, but to work on your own. So look forward to seeing you there, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.